Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on how to prepare for your cultural exchange program abroad. My name is Alicia, and I'm a career development specialist here at RMC Asia, and I'll be hosting this session today with my colleague Maisa, who is our host relations specialist.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maisa. I am the host relationship specialist in RMC Asia, where I connect students to the hotels and then also like assisting and guiding them for the onboarding process, including for the visa application and in program support.
All right, thank you so much, Maisa. I think we have a lot of valuable insights to share with you guys today, so I'm very excited for the session. All right, so let's begin. And to start with, I'd just like to give a brief introduction to RMC Asia for those of you who are new here. So RMC Asia is a Bangkok-based organization which promotes cultural exchange program opportunities in the top hospitality destinations across Asia and the Middle East. So we work specifically in the hospitality and tourism sector, and we offer internships, management training opportunities, and contractual positions for students, recent graduates, and young professionals who want to gain international work experience at luxury hotels and resorts. In this session, we will cover some of the most important things and tips that you need to know before you start your cultural exchange program. And actually, at the end of the webinar, we will have a little special announcement for our attendees. So make sure you stay tuned until the end. And yeah, let's get started. All right. To begin with, I think we want to cover one of the most important steps in preparing for your cultural exchange program, which is the visa process. Every destination has its own visa requirements, and RMC Asia will assist you in navigating the process of the visa application. And to start with, Maisa, what documents do we need to prepare for the visa application as a participant with RMC Asia?
Okay, Alicia, actually, this is the question that a lot of our participant is asking for the visa process. So for the visa documents, actually, I must say that every destination, every country, and every hotel has their own different visa application process and documents. But I can inform you of the brief and general ones. So the most important one for the visa application process for the documents are for the visa photo, and then also, of course, your passport. We always recommend our candidates to have a minimum of 1 year validity for the passport, as well as for the documents from your school, such as like a school recommendation letter, and then also like the enrollment certificate if you are still enrolled, and then for the graduation certificate if you are graduated, and of course your transcript or grades, and then also some of the destination and some of the hotel will require the MOU between the hotel and then also between the hotel and your school for them to sign and stamp.
All right, so thank you, Maisa. And as Maisa mentioned, the visa requirements may vary depending on the destination that you are going to. And of course, from RMC Asia's side, we will provide you personalized guidance to make sure that you know which documents exactly do you need for your specific program and your specific destination. Okay, and then the next thing is also another common question from our applicants. So the question is, do they need to go to the embassy for their visa, or can everything be done online?
Okay, so most of our destination, all of the visa is done by the online, and then also usually the visa is an electronic visa. So the electronic visa is in the PDF file, so you will need to like print it before your arrival. So for destination like a GCC countries such as like UAE, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, and the other country, will done by online for the electronic visa, and then also the hotel will apply for the visa. But for specific destination like Thailand, you will need as a candidate to like apply for the visa, but it can be done online as well. But you don't need to be worried because we are here to support you and guiding you, also assisting you for the visa application. For the Thailand visa, you will need to apply it by yourself, and it can be done by online. Also, the question is, do you need to go to the embassy? Okay, actually, because everything done by online, you don't need to go to the embassy anymore. But for some specific nationalities, I must say like a Kenyan, Indonesian, and then also like Indian, they will need to go to the embassy for the visa stamp and biometric scan. Also, for specific destination like Vietnam, you will need to go to the embassy for submitting like a documents requirement, such as for the legalization stamp for the some of the documents. This is required for the Vietnam embassy at the Vietnam embassy for the visa for the legalization stamp.
All right. Thank you so much, Maisa, for explaining that. So, as Maisa has mentioned, of course, we will guide you throughout the process, so you don't need to worry about it. And we will let you know whether or not you need to go to the embassy and which documents you need to collect and what you need to submit. All right. And another common question that we get is how long does the visa process usually take?
Okay, as I mentioned, for the visa application, it will be like a vary between destinations. But for the how long it will takes about approximately 2 until 4 weeks. It will be like a vary between each destination. Usually for the GCC countries, it can be like a much more faster 1 weeks until 2 weeks. But kindly note that for the visa application process, for the approval, for the rejection, it is like beyond our handle as well as the hotel because it is solely with the immigration. But we are always guiding you step by step for everything to go smoothly, and then also for your visa is like to be approved.
Okay, thank you, Maisa. So, just to mention again, the process takes about 2 to 4 weeks, but of course, this depends on the specific destination country. So, we usually recommend applicants to start applying as early as possible to avoid any last minute issues. Okay, so now that we've covered the visa process, I think we can move on to something that is also as important as that, which is adapting to living and working in a new country. So, moving abroad is a really exciting opportunity, but for many young people, it can come with some challenges. And at RMC Asia, we do want to make sure that you are fully prepared for your journey. So, first thing is, how does RMC Asia assist you with moving abroad?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we will always like guiding you step by step, starting from the visa application and in-program support. So we are always here to supporting you throughout your internship process. So actually, before your arrival, we will conduct one important call, which is like the pre-departure orientation call. So in this call, we will talk everything about your destination, everything that you need to prepare ahead of time, and then we will make you like familiar with the environment in there, and then also like we will tell you about the local cultures in there, and then what is like permissible in the area or not. Okay, in this call it will be like very important because we will also like informing you of what you need to bring and what you need to prepare ahead of time. And then also for the travel planning, I must inform you that the travel planning will be very, very important. From the beginning of the stage, we always like informing our candidates to like prepare for the flight ticket as well as for the insurance. Because actually for the flight ticket, most of our destination and the hotel will not provide the flight ticket as well as for the insurance. Okay, actually for the insurance for the GCC country, they will provide it, but they will provide it for the second month and onwards because in this period of 1 month, there is still like a time for the period of like activation for insurance. So we are always encourage our students to prepare the budget and everything for the flight ticket as well as for the insurance before they are like applying with us. And then for the arrival instructions, you don't need to be worried because this is also like one of our services as well. We will guide you step by step for the arrival instructions, connect you with the driver, and then also like connect you with the hotel for everything related to the airport pickup. So for the airport pickup, most of our destination and the hotel will provide for the airport pickup, but maybe some of the destination is not. Okay, but you don't need to be worried because there is still like airport representative at the hotel. They will help you and guiding you to like grab a taxi, take a taxi, and then you can take a taxi, go straight to the accommodation or to the hotel. But you don't need to be worried about the fee as well because usually for the fee for the taxi, it will be reimbursed by the hotel as long as you keep the receipt. But most of our hotel will provide the airport pickup, and then we will help you to like for the arrival instructions and everything. And then also, as I mentioned earlier as well, we will help you for the in-program support. So for the in-program support, once you arrive at the destination, you don't need to be worried that we will leave you just like that. No, but we will always be there for you until your internship is finished or over. Okay, so we'll also like hearing any issue, concern, question, or anything that you have. So feel free to reach out to us even when you are like in the middle of your internship.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for the detailed overview, Maisa. So I think this is just to reassure you guys that we will support you from the beginning until the end of the program and will help you out with any sort of practical matters, planning, arrival, and so on. Okay, and moving on. So there are some other issues that some participants may deal with when they move abroad. Um, one of which is preparing to live in a new country for the first time while working at the same time. So actually, how can they prepare for that, Maisa?
Okay, so tips on moving abroad is the first one is to do a lot of research. Okay, research is very, very important. I must inform you. You have to like research about the diversity in those destinations. You have to like research about their food, about their locals, and then also like gaining like a more insight of the destination that you will be going. And then you don't need to be worried because we will send you the cultural booklet as well before your arrival, so you can read it, you can review, and then you can ask us anytime for the question that you may have. Okay, and then also maybe for the tips to moving abroad, I must inform you that maybe you can consider to bringing something like from your home, such as like the picture from your family, from your loved ones, or maybe you can bring like your favorite items such as like teddy bear or something like that, just to make you feeling like home.
All right. And one thing that we get asked a lot, I think, is how to deal with culture shock, even if you prepare, but when you arrive, you might have some difficulties adjusting.
Okay, so cultural shock, it is very, very common. I must inform you that from my experience, I would say like 4 out of 10 of my participant, of my candidates, is like having this cultural shock. Okay, cultural shock is when you are feeling like you hate everything, you hate everybody in the hotel, and then you are like feeling like you're feeling down, you miss home and everything. This is a cultural shock. Okay, one thing that you need to remember is like to embrace this cultural shock. You don't need to be like panic, you don't need to be nervous. You can reach us anytime if you are feeling this. But one tips from me is this is a normal process. This is the normal part of your internship, okay? Because you are like stepping into a new zone. You are like interning in a new country where there are like maybe like a language barrier. You are like entering a new environment with the different cultures, habits. You are stepping outside of your comfort zone. You are like going outside of your box. So this is a very common for the cultural shock, okay? So please just embrace this cultural shock, going through it. And then also one tip from me is to do not like push yourself too much to fit in. Okay, you can take your time. You can gradually like adapting in the area. And then also one more important thing is to like making friends. Okay, you can like building relationship with your college in there, because like having a friends will be like making you feel like less lonely in there. And then maybe you can join like an expat community in there, where they can like giving you a suggestion, they can provide you something like a sense belonging of home.
Okay, that's some great advice. Thank you so much, Maisa. So I definitely agree with you, as it's very important to stay open-minded and, as you've mentioned, to build some relationships, which will allow you to have a support system even though you're in a completely new place. And of course, please never hesitate to reach out to us at RMC Asia if you need help, because we're always here to guide you, to help you with any issues that you get along the way. Okay, and moving on, let's talk a little bit more about what happens once you start your internship. So every hotel operates differently across every country. So it's good to know what you should expect in terms of like work schedules, responsibilities, and so on. So first question is, what are the typical working hours in hotels?
Okay. So actually, for the working hours at the hotel, it will be like about 40 until 45 hours. It will be like 5 until 6 days per week. Okay. But you must like keep in mind for like something kind of like a back office position. They will have like a more firm schedule instead of like the operation position. Operation positions such as like a housekeeping, front office, or like a food and beverage, they will have like a more flexible hours and working day. Because keep in mind that you are working in the hospitality industry, where they are like operate 24 hours per day. So maybe you will need to like have like a work extra hours or like extra days. Okay, but you don't need to be worried because usually the hotel will pay for the extra hours, and then also they will give you like an additional days off.
Yeah, of course. And definitely, as Maisa has mentioned, for the operational members of the hotel, sometimes they will have to work in rotating shifts, while the back office typically has a regular, like Monday to Friday schedule. Okay, and another question that I think some participants have asked before is, do they get days off during the program?
Yes, of course. So of course, you will get the days off. For the public holiday, you will get it according to the each destination and country policy. And then for the days off, usually it will 1 until 2 days, but it will depends on the each hotel operation and also the destination.
Okay, and final question. Actually, once participants and interns, once they start their program, who should they contact when it comes to the schedule or special requests about their schedule?
Okay. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, we will always supporting you for the in-program support. So if you have any question, concern, or anything, you can reach out to us anytime. But we are always like encourage our students, our participants to like reach out to the hotel management directly. Okay, you can reach out to the hotel management like the HR, head of department, or like your manager directly. Because once you arrive at the hotel, they are your employer, so you will need to reach out and maintain a communication with them. Okay, they are very open to any issue that you would like to address or question or like anything related. They are very open, so you will need to maintain this good communication because communication is the key. You will need to like building the relationship with them and ask them anytime that if you have any question, if you are concerned. However, if like for the urgent situation, for example, like maybe incident at work or maybe like a harassment or like something related, we can like a step in to discuss with the hotel, and then we will act immediately to assess the issue. Okay, but for like a specific issue which is like outside of the urgent situation, we always encourage our student to reach to the hotel management accordingly and directly, because actually we cannot like interfere with most of the hotel policy.
Okay, thank you so much, Maisa, for clarifying that. So, for sure, the HR department and your direct supervisor at the hotel should be your first point of contact when it comes to work related questions and any sort of arrangements at work, because we do not interfere with those. However, if you have any major challenges or any emergencies, you need any other support, you can, of course, reach out to us at RMC Asia. Okay, so we've pretty much come to the end of our questions, but I would like to open the floor for a Q&A session for anybody who has some specific questions to ask. Please feel free to drop them in the chat, or you can just let us know here. All right.
Can I ask you something, please?
Hi, Billy. Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yes. Is visa application process handled by RMC Asia?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So for the visa application process, actually, we will always like guiding you and supporting you throughout the process. So for the, as I mentioned, for the visa application, mostly it will handled by the hotel. So the hotel will apply it for the visa application. Usually the visa application done by online. But for Thailand visa, you as a candidate will need to like apply it for yourself, but you don't need to be worried because we will arrange a call with you to like guiding you step by step for submitting the visa application for Thailand. But usually for this GCC countries, Maldives, for example, it will like the hotel will apply for the visa, but we are here to supporting you until your visa is approved.
Thank you. And can I still ask another one, please? One more, one more.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So I requested to pause my case, so because I have a little personal matter, so I requested to pause. So can I continue whenever I want?
Okay. Actually, for do you mean like in the middle of the internship, or if you have like a personal matter?
Personal matter. Yeah.
Okay, so for example, if you do have like a personal matter in the middle of your internship, as I mentioned, communication is the key. Okay, so you will need to like inform to your manager, head of department, or HR directly. Okay, because communication is the key. They are your employer, so you will need to like inform them about your matter, about your issue, and everything. We always encourage this because as Alicia mentioned, the employer or the hotel is the first point of contact once you arrive in there. But you don't need to be worried because we will always be in here for you as well, so you can reach out to us anytime.
Thank you for your answers. I appreciate it. Certified.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Goody.
Yes. Welcome.
All right. So do we have any questions from anyone else? I think nothing so far. So I will ask an additional question from you, Maisa. This is also something very common. Many applicants and those who are just beginning their registration process ask the question. So what happens if your visa application gets rejected?
Okay, this is a very common question, as Alicia mentioned that a lot of our candidates is asking, what is the visa application? What happens if my visa application is rejected? Okay, so visa application rejected, you must like expect it on your first when you are applying to RMC Asia, because I must say that you need to like keep your mind open. Okay, so for the visa application, if it is got rejected, one thing that you need to do is you don't need to like panic, you don't need to like feeling nervous or anxious, because visa rejection is also like one of the part of the challenging that we are always happen. Okay, so for the visa rejection, you don't need to be worried, because once your visa is rejected, we will gonna be like reintroduce you to the other destination. For example, if your visa is rejected in Thailand, we will reintroduce you to the other destination like a GCC country or like a Maldives, something like that. We will also like asking you more about the preferred destination, and for you to be like open-minded to widen the opportunities again.
All right, thank you so much for your response. So visa application rejections are quite rare, but sometimes they can happen because this is from the country's embassy, so we cannot really control this process. But of course, we do have alternative solutions to this. Okay, so if there are no further questions from anyone else, I think we can move on to the end of our session. Oh, okay, I see a raised hand. Hi, hi.
Do you have a internship in Taiwan?
Sorry, could you repeat again? I think you broke off for a little bit.
Do you have internships in Taiwan?
Taiwan, yes. Actually, Taiwan is like one of our new destination. We do have like a host organization that is like interested to hire international interns. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much for the great
I
question.
want to ask question.
Yes, of course.
If I interest to get internship in Taiwan, can you help us to find the hotel or the restaurant that we want?
Yes, yes, of course. As I mentioned, so once you apply with us, we will always like introduce you to the destination. So the first step, I think it is with the recruitment team. They will ask about your preferred destination. They will ask like which one of the destination that you would like to introduce, for example, something like that. But however, keep in mind that the one that is like to do the hiring is the hotel manager or the hotel. So we are in here to like introducing you, and then also like pushing your CV through them, but the one that do the hiring is with them. So yes, the answer for your question is yes, we can introduce you to your preferred destination.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And we have, I think, one last question in the chat here. So Rudy is asking, when you share our resume, do you ever share with the host additional information that we probably want to get the contractual position after the training period is completed? So I think what Rudy is referring here is that in our application form, we do have a section that says, are you open to contractual positions or permanent hiring after you're done with your program, right? So, Maisa, do we share this with our host organization hiring managers as well?
Yeah. Actually, as Alicia mentioned, so in the CV or like your resume, it is built with RMC Asia CV or resume. So in the CV, you will like need to write it down if you are open to the contractual position or not. So actually, this is also like one thing that we are introduced to the hotel. For example, if the hotel is like requesting the profile or like we are always like introducing you to the hotel, we'll always informing them whether you are like open to the contractual position or not. For example, if your preferred destination is Maldives and then your internship period is 6 until 12 months, for example, we will inform to the hotel that your availability, your internship period, and then also whether you are open to the contractual position or not. So the hotel knows that if you are like open to the contractual position or not, your availability, and then also your internship period.
Okay, thank you so much, Maisa. I hope that answers your question, Rudy.
I'm sorry, I got to say something. So is it all the contractual position itself? Is it only for the UAE or also is also possible for the Thailand too?
Yeah, for a contractual position, you can apply for any destination, okay? But for the contractual position, usually we do have like a specific requirement for you to apply for the contractual position. But contractual position is open for all of the destination, not just Thailand or not just Maldives. It can be like in the GCC country and any other destination that are available.
But I think just to
Okay,
clarify, it is most common in the GCC countries. So that includes the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, and Oman. So this is where it would be the most common.
okay,
Okay.
let's say, okay, one more question. I'm sorry if asking too much about this. In
No worries, no
case,
worries.
okay, let me say, in case like I finished my training in Thailand and then I do not get the offer. So, if is that possible? Like I reach out to you guys, RMC Asia, probably can connect me to the other countries for the contractual positions.
Yes, it is very, very possible. We are very glad if you would like to like come back for the second program for the contractual position. Okay, so there are like a two option. The first one is when the hotel is like wants to recruit you for the contractual position after your internship is finished. It is will be like a between you and the hotel whether you would like to accept the contractual position as a permanent after your internship position or not. Okay, and then the second one is you can get back to us to apply for the second program for the contractual position only, for example, and then we will introduce you to the hotel that is open for the contractual position.
Okay, one last question. It's probably never asking by others. Um, so when you guys has the offer to the students, why is always one host? Is it possible like we get offer like two hosts or three hosts for us to choose rather than one host?
Okay, so actually, this is like to maintain the professionals between RMC Asia and the hotel. So actually, you can like accept a lot of interview. For example, like Rudy, you can like accept like an interview in the UAE, in the Maldives, and then also like maybe in the Bahrain, like in the 3 different days and time. You can accept it, okay? And then you can get like a lot of offers as well. However, if you get the first offer, for example, you will need to like informing us whether you would like to accept it or not, because this is like to maintain the professional between us and the hotel as well. But you can like accept a lot of interviews. You don't need to be worried because we will keep introducing you.
That's great. Thank you for the information.
Sure thing.
All right, thank you so much for your questions. I will answer one last one, all right, because we're reaching the end of the session. So Carmeline is asking in the chat, can I know the procedure if I want RMC program to help me to get an internship in Taiwan? Should I contact RMC personally? I already have a hotel in Taiwan that I want to intern at. So to answer your question, yes, please get in touch with us directly. If you have applied with us already, we can also add Taiwan to your list of preferred destinations. However, please note that we can only connect you specifically with our hotel partners in Taiwan. So if you have a specific hotel in mind, they might not be our existing partner. So in that case, we will not be able to match you with that hotel. All right. Okay, I hope this answers the question. Okay, so I mentioned at the start that we have a very special announcement at the end of our webinar, and I see that all the people who joined are still here with us. So that's great to see. We have a special offer, so a limited offer of 20% off of all of our fees. So this applies to both the registration fee and the professional services fee, and this is an exclusive discount for those of you who have joined our webinar and stayed until the end. And of course, if you are eligible for the program, you will be eligible for this discount. There are some special terms that apply, but if you would like to learn more about it and claim your discount, please do reach out to us directly about that. Okay.
Alicia, how if
Yes.
that I already registered, is it eligible for me?
Yes, you can let us know directly that you've registered and you've attended the webinar. And have you already paid your registration fee?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then do please get in touch with us directly with your person of contact, and then we will see what we can arrange with you, all right?
Good, thank you.
All right, and for all of you, you may also scan this QR code here, which will lead you to our website where you can register and qualify for the offer. And then if, like Rudy, you've already registered or you're in your application process, you can also reach out to us by email and let us know. Okay. And yeah, we've reached the end of our session. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm actually very happy to see many people here asking very great questions. So thank you so much, Maisa. I think your responses have been really helpful and have given a lot of information to our applicants and participants.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, guys, if you have any further questions, as always, please feel free to contact us via this email, so info@rmcasia.org, or if you're already in contact with one of our team members, you can, of course, reach out to them directly. Okay, looking forward to seeing you all in the future and helping you get started on your journey. All right, thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the
Thank you,
rest of your day.
everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you so much.
Thank you.